Greetings, everyone. The topic of today's session, I believe, is very important because we are all moving to digital transformation, and sometimes we don't give us a double thought, double check if this implementation is secured, is it meeting our agenda and meeting our criteria that we set in the above. So implementing quality gates, I believe it's one of a must of all companies should implement during any digital transformation journey. So being a head of digital transformation at Elevators, it's one of the leading Saudi HR tech company that created its own in-house development in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, managed to get all the licenses and certification for data storage, for evaluating and validate the coding of models and algorithms that we implemented in the ministries, in the public sector, and in universities. So I believe that this type of example and this type of talk today will give you a brief understanding how can this tool as a quality gate ensure the quality of your operations. And as an example, we will go into our example that is patent in Elevators, how we validate the coding of each algorithm that we implement in our projects. So basically, in this talk also we will explore the role of quality management in driving the success of technology companies. By implementing quality gates nowadays, we will manage to ensure high quality IT products and services that we push to the market or that we develop in-house in the big enterprises. So by defining the quality gates, we can integrate it into code development, into the satisfaction of your end user, into the communication between each department within your organization. So speaking about which challenges nowadays technology companies are meeting while not implementing quality gates, and how it can risk their performance, how it can risk their reputation in the market if they don't double check what do they develop, how they implement it, and how this is ensured by their specific tools to ensure the quality of the end user, right? So it can create different challenges like lack of customer satisfaction, increased cost, missed deadlines and delays, lack of standardization and specific guidelines that can ensure that the project is meet their project guidelines and corporate guidelines in terms of development. So if we deep dive into term of quality gates in general, so I can say that quality gates is a very important tool that's been already implemented and introduced to the market in 1986. But before it was purely implemented in production of production facilities to guarantee the end quality product, right? But nowadays, in the last 5-6 years, the project, the quality gates management tool has been implemented various in software companies to ensure that the end product and the IT services that they implement are meeting the guidelines of the customers. So if we look at their corporate infrastructure nowadays, you will see that a lot of entities already been implemented various number of softwares, right? And their infrastructure is very complex, very heavy. And in the end of the day, they decided to go into in-house development. So to put on top another software tool. So how to validate that this implementation will identify and bring us to their success, to the long-term success, not to get 2-quarter, 4-quarter success, because in this type of solution, we need to look long ahead, to see long benefits, not a short benefits in terms of a year or a half year. So based on their criteria that quality gate define, each process has its part. And to move from one part to another, you need to put some kind of exit, some kind of verification that to move to one stage from one stage to another, you need to validate that the end goal is a meeting, that the criteria for each phase are meeting, because it is important to ensure that the end product will meet the criteria from the very beginning, okay? So to move forward, it's important to understand that implementation of quality gates also consists of several stages that the company should meet in order to verify that they are introducing it in the right way. So first of all, we need to define the clear milestones, okay, of each project or each in-house development or any implementation that IT company is doing. Should it be like in terms of model training, testing, deployment, code development, or anything connected to internal implementation? The next stage is conduct quality assessment and to understand that the quality in terms of validation, security audits are meeting their criteria that we put on the stage, put on the requirement between us and the client. Third is involve stakeholders. I believe that nowadays also it is important to ensure that the whole stakeholders are understanding the criticality of this issue, that it is important to put in mind to involve change management approach, sometimes to transform the teams to understand that if we not implement this, we can meet the risks or we can meet unsatisfactory from from the market, and it can ruin our reputation, or we can get more competitiveness or costs while not ensuring the end product. The fourth is establish criteria and metrics. I believe this is one of the key stages from all the 6 stages, because in this stage, we validate the accuracy, performance, scalability, and data privacy of the IT product. Because if we deep dive into accuracy, it means that our AI model is meeting their statistics or meeting their ground information from the ground. So we can verify that this is what we are expecting to get from the model. Second is performance. Performance is extremely important because the IT infrastructure, as we know, is overloaded sometimes, and we need to validate that we will not overload the system, so it will not stop, it will not crash in the moment of implementation or development each of the stages. Scalability is that we can move the solution from one branch to another without having risks of not performing or not creating difficulties to transform the scale of the entity or the scale of the holding while focusing only in one branch. And data privacy, I believe this is also like one of the important tools, because we work with the private data and we need to validate that this data is secured, it is stored in the right way, and is meeting the guidelines of the corporate environment that we are working with. So if we speak about benefits, I can separate it in 2 groups. One group is dedicated to product, one is dedicated to the process. Product is getting us more understanding how we can get the quality product, how we can enhance the end product of while it is getting from one stage to another. And in terms of process, the most important benefit that we're getting is that we start communicating. We start communicating with the development teams, because sometimes what we face in the company is that development is here, business is here, and it's not communicating. And it creates a lot of challenges in the longer term, because these teams are not separated. They are not getting the right feedback from the market. Sometimes they are not ensuring there are the right people on the places to validate that what the market is needed, we are developing, not vice versa, not that we're developing something that we believe in and the market is not responding. So this should be communicated, and this is something that makes a critical part in the quality gate assurance of the quality management in general. So speaking about elevators, I believe elevators is one of the key companies in Saudi that created its own in-house team and validate the models and machine learning algorithm based on the local infrastructure, based on the local data, based on the clients like Ministry of Economy and Planning, like the Dr. Suleiman Habib Hospital, like EXA, like Elm, STC. This is all our clients, and we're working with them daily, ensuring that the process and their quality of their end product that they receive is matching the agenda. I believe that being trusted by such companies allow me to tell you this use case and show you some of the patent schemes of how we validate the code from their business that we receive from the market saying we need to implement this feature, this functionality. So we don't just rush and do it, because market needs it. We verify it. We created specific patent stages of each request to change one button in our system. So it is automated, and we can verify that it is purely meeting our guideline and meeting their government and regulations in general. So now I will describe these stages very briefly and generally for you to understand how the data is moving from just a request from the business, from sales or from, I don't know, business development teams to their development team that implementing this algorithm and making sure that this data is validated, okay? So first of all, we created their patent process called pre-commit hook that basically helps you to validate if the code or the data that you receive is matching our repository requirements, that is matching our examples or framework that we implemented. So if it's not matching, or even if one of the criteria is not matching, it's absolutely moving us to the fail. We are not considering to move with any algorithm before it is validated 100% and matching our process. So it all should be positive, all should be true. Okay. So the next stage is pre-push and post-push. When we define that this model, okay, is matching our guideline, we move it to another stage. It's called pre-push. Pre-push stage, basically, it's saying that this is the algorithm that is qualified, and we can qualify it in our system, in our repository, in our database. So if we can push it, and if it's passed, we can also say yes, the process is verified, and we can move to the next stage. Post-push stage basically helps us to validate that we have done additional checks and tests to validate that the code is meeting. If any changes will be implemented in the code, it will still meeting our guideline. So we just put it in some type of framework. So it's not moving out of this framework. It's still the same model that we initiated in the beginning. Pre-merge. This is the next stage when we just merging all algorithms together in order to create the learning model that will already start getting the data and the learning from different sources. So pre-merging, we just allowing them to merge into whole branches in one repository. The last one, I think this is very important, post-deploy. This is the stage when we verify that the data we implemented, okay, first we tested, we identify this is what is meeting our guideline. We develop a prototype, and then we move to deployment. So the post-deployment stage is to verify that our system will not stop operating while working in the customer environment, that it will still get the needed benefits. Still, the end product will be high quality. And the post-deployment process is happening like on the live real time. So it's helping us to validate if any changes are coming, we can, or any bugs are happening, we can identify how to work with this, how to, in an automated way, to qualify the change and make it possible to solve, okay? The last process is the way how it's the whole process. Before it was separated. And this process is generally showing you how we start creating the task of any change that we need to implement in our system. how it goes through, and what helps us to basically to validate each stage and request a change request if we want to verify or to validate specific requirements that came new, for example, while doing the work, we can validate and send change request. So basically, this is in highlights describing how the data is moving and how it is automated. We are not allowing the data behave itself. We are forcing AI engine to work on what we need, not what it works and how it should work. We are putting the framework, we put the guidelines for any AI product that we push in the market. In the end, I wanted to say that quality gates in general describe the high-performing company. If the company is not implementing such tools, we can question them. We can say that sometimes it's trust issues with the company. Because, for example, we work with Aramco. Aramco is our investor, okay? So we always believe that Aramco is a big example to implement the guidelines, to implement the right to-do approach. And we are trying, even in our case, we are implementing these guidelines in order to grow faster and be more agile. Working with the huge corporates nowadays, we need to be agile. We have to be connected to change and respond to change very fast in order to validate and have a quite high quality end product. Thank you.
Hi, Elena. Thank you so much for the great session. I was leading a development team, a group of technical developers, and having quality gates is really crucial. But the issue that we have faced, that's the understanding of management, because they want fast change, but they been not understanding of the amount of issues that changes are making. So every issue during the different gates being counted on us. So how can we show the management our effort, and tell them whatever appear in the quality gates is part of the game or part of the work.
Management, you mean your management, right?
Yeah.
In the company.
Exactly.
So they are not understanding the need for such process, or the problem is that they're questioning the process itself.
Yeah, they are questioning the result of the process, because while having many quality gates, there are numbers of defects, number of raising defects.
So first of all, as I mentioned, sometimes we face in the market that management, as I told, and development teams, they have they're talking different languages. They don't understand each other. And this is a problem because management wants something fast, execute fast, implement fast, sales each quarter increasing. So, but in the long term, it can bring us to what? To poor performance, to dissatisfaction from the client, to resigning from the team, because team is resigning so fast. And for example, our team, it's so important to keep development team as is, because it will impact everything. So for me, I think the most important advice is that you need to implement change management first, to make management understand that this is the process and this is a long-term process. And the market is very reacting to such poor performance very fast. You will lose reputation, or you will lose team, right? In general, and it can trigger poor sales in general, because no one will referring back. So I believe first it's change management that should be implemented, and the key bridge between development team and management, it should be some kind of person with the right background on the edge between business and tech. Because I think this is one of the crucial positions. I think the market they're already looking for such people, but this is not as critical as it will be soon, because you need to manage both teams and bring the right message to both teams. So I think this is two main advice that I can give you in terms of management perspective.
Okay, we are going to have the last question here.
I have two questions. First question, how we can use software for enterprise architecture? Second question, what is the best way for selecting software for engineering program? Thank you.
The first question was how to create the architecture.
How for enterprise architecture, what is the best software can be used for digitalization?
Well, I'm not representing any ERP systems, basically, but well, first it depends on it's not like one answer. I can't give you one answer. Depending on your on your company size. Okay, what's your business? So yes. So basically, this is we need to understand first your company size, okay? Which industry you're working in, because it will impact the decision in the end. So I cannot tell you one. There are numerous of them you can see in the market, but I think the best way is to understand first what you need, what you need to achieve, okay, and define the criteria of your company in general. So to understand which software meets your purpose, because every software has different purpose and different end goal or for the end user. So basically, I believe that I cannot tell you now names, okay? But we work, for example, we implement different our solution we implement on top of any solution of any ERP system. We can work with Oracle, with SAP, with anything, okay? So, but define which ERP do you need. I mean, this is not the right question for me. But this is what I believe you need, just to prioritize what you need to achieve from implementing this and do analysis of the market.
Thank you, Elena, for this wonderful speech and wonderful answers. And
you.
on behalf of PMI KSA, I would like to applaud you and I would like to appreciate and appraise you for that
Thank you.
great speech. Thank you very much. And this is a small trophy from PMI
Thank
KSA.
you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.